God, please open my heart and my soul. I have forgiven myself all my drunk small talks, which I can't recall, and I thank you, God, that you have removed all their negative effects. I have forgiven myself that as time was passing by, the drunken brotherhood still lasted. I have given back freedom to all those who used to say, "Of course, if you don't drink with us, then you're a spy, a snitch, a collaborator." I have forgiven that I felt drunken sensitivity, and I thank you, God, that you have removed all its negative effects. I have forgiven that a proof of my drunk actions remains in my throat, in my heart, and in my alcoholic liver. I have forgiven that during drunk feasts I and my soul lost many valuable things. I have forgiven that my life was a grotesque record of delirious visions and drunk stories, where I lost the sense of time, and phantoms and astral wraiths came to torment me with no end. I have forgiven that evil spirit and dark forces led me on a leash into drunkards' gutters and into decay. I have commended to God all descriptions of drunken and narcotic rituals. I have forgiven that I sought freedom, equality, and drunken brotherhood at the bottom of my moral decay. I have forgiven that drunkards' dens used to be an El Dorado, and Chinese opium smoking rooms were sanctuaries for me. I have forgiven myself all drunken festivals where I drank to forget. I have forgiven that drunken nightly libations in inns and other places brought me only troubles, misery, and sometimes I even came close to death. I have forgiven that I was already drunk when drunk kissing began. I have commended to God all results and effects of my drunken kissing, of my drunken actions. I have forgiven that when I got drunk, I kissed in ecstasy, and I was favorably disposed towards those who I would not like to meet when I am sober. I give back freedom to all those with whom I kissed when I was totally drunk. I have already commended to God all results of my drunken kisses. I have forgiven that I was tired with permanent drunken and narcotic benders. I have forgiven that for many times avatars of my soul started from their young age until death, and they were friendly towards drugs and felt brotherhood with drunkards, phantoms, drug abusers. I have forgiven myself all touching tears which were flowing on my drunk face. I have forgiven myself that first I used drugs only occasionally, and over time I became addicted and led a drunken life full of disasters, life in which many souls coexisted in drunken brotherhood and in narcotic harmony. I have forgiven drunken songs sung together with other drunkards during fests. I don't have to meet with drunkards, drug users anymore to say, "Let's love each other." I am free from faith in drunken love, in drunken friendship, and in the drunken brotherhood. I have forgiven that I looked for prostitutes at drunken orgies. I have forgiven that I was so impudent towards God, other souls and other people. I have forgiven that I hated stench and I was bored with drunken talks. I have forgiven that I was united with drunkards by drunken brotherhood of arms and by a mysterious, unconscious solidarity. I have forgiven that I, under the influence of alcohol, that I told information to people who shouldn't hear them. I have forgiven that I believed that only slaves and those who have to work hard do not drink, do not smoke, and do not use drugs. I have forgiven that I had only one excuse, that I did not remember. I have forgiven that many times I perfectly knew that my drunken days are over. I have forgiven that there were times when I had no friends to drink with. I have forgiven that after midnight songs there was time for afternoon singing. I have forgiven that many times I lost my voice because of drinking and I wasn't able to talk or sing. I have forgiven that drinking and abusing drugs resembled the brotherhood of wolves, starting from drunken fights. I have forgiven that I didn't eat enough because every meal cost a lot of money, and I needed to pay for wine and drugs. I have forgiven that I spent days in inns begging for a gulp of alcohol or for a dose of drugs.